you started this particular fight to go after the 2G spectrum scam in November 2008.
Yeah.
What got you going there? Is it the stake sale by the companies that had got the licenses?
No. If there's one mistake Raja made, somebody would ask me, what is that one mistake that Raja made? If he had not made that mistake, he would have been in a much better position today. I would say January 10th, 2008, when he issued that press release saying that the cutoff date is 25th September, not 1st October, and that within 1 hour you have to bring a demand draft of 1650 crores to get spectrum. Now that is the turning point, in my opinion, because there was mara-mari, people were disgusted. That evening, or a couple of evenings later, some civil servants came to my house and said, today we feel like committing suicide. And they described what happened. Then I asked them, and they told me, really this is going to be one of the biggest scandals. So I started following. It was getting difficult to get documents and so on.
The Indian people have got used to seeing corruption as an endemic problem. Do you think that the way the 2G spectrum case is finally dealt with, we don't know the outcome, but if the outcome is what you would like to see and what people would like to see, which is wrongdoers getting punished, do you think it will be a turning point in the way Indians and India deals with corruption?
I certainly think this is going to be the beginning of Indian Renaissance, if you ask me. This 2G spectrum will set so much confidence into the people that it will become the beginning of India's Renaissance.
You just released a book at the end of the last year.
Called Hindutva and National Renaissance.
And National Renaissance,
Yes,
released by RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat.
That's right. Vishwan Parishad Chief also,
What I've been reading about what you've written about Hindutva, and your, some of the things you've said on your party website and in your umpteen press releases.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you're like the guys who broke down the Babri Masjid, if you're like the guys who actually, oversaw the massacre in Gujarat. No, Dr. Swamy, because I don't know where to draw the line.
I agree. I'll draw the line for you. If your Hindutva is that there is something wrong with you, your divisiveness, your caste orientation, your language, linguistic differences, and that you should rise above this. No more caste. Caste was never meant to be a birth-based concept. Now scrap it because there is no way we can reform it. Become only Hindu. That is you turn inwards. That is my Hindutva. The Hindutva of what happened in Gujarat or Babri Masjid is a targeting of another community. And, I was not in favor of that.
But Dr. Swamy, you have asked for Muslims to give up wanting mosques in, Ayodhya and Mathura.
Argument is Muslim masjid is not a religious place. It's a facilitation center for reading namaz. In Saudi Arabia, they break masjids all the time.
I've read that, Dr. Swamy. I've read some of your arguments. I'm just saying that your ideology of Hindutva also seems to be coming down the definition seems to be based on who you're not and the outsider or the enemy.
Yeah, you need an identity for India. And what is that identity? It's not, passport is not your identity. Being together on a railway platform is not your identity. The identity is something by which as Professor Huntington had written in his book, Who We Are for Americans, there is something called substance and salience. Salience is when you place your country above every other value, and that identification. And substance is where you find what your connections are with the other people. What's my connection with the Hindu and the Muslim? What's the connection between Hindu and Muslim? The Muslim, according to DNA analysis, is the same as my DNA. And therefore, he has obviously descended from my ancestors. We have the same ancestors. So why because the religion change, culture should change? After all, the Iranians, They have accepted Persian as their language, which is not their language. It's not the language of Islam. It's not the Arabic language. It was the language of the Parsis, the Zoroastrians. I am only saying that let us, in each of these things, there is a rationality which I want to bring out. But if you start painting it, well, then what can I do? I am in fact giving a highly articulate, acceptable way of making your feeling with this country. The patriotism based on spiritual values, where Muslims and Christians can also participate. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing, it's not comparable to killing them.
But they can also participate as saying that they need to get co-opted in the mainstream where the numbers are larger, isn't it, Dr. Swamy?
No, you mean the minorities getting co-opted?
Yeah.
Of course they should get co-opted. Why should they have not get co-opted? They belong to this country. Their ancestors belong to this country. They are very much part of this country. But they should not give up the culture of this country.
Dr. Swamy, do you think that the young and the youth of India will accept or understand these arguments?
That's the undercurrent today. And the way I put it...
It hasn't been seen electorally.
You will see it.
BJP,
No, I wouldn't
two
say...
elections, Dr. Swamy.
That's okay.
There doesn't seem to be any...
But that is because
there don't seem to be takers for this kind of agenda.
Because BJP betrayed the agenda. That's why people didn't vote for him. But when the original idea was the Ram Janmabhoomi took place, they went from 2 seats in Lok Sabha all the way to majority. Then once they came to power, for 6 years they did nothing. The BJP failure in 2004 is because of the letdown of the Hindutva.
And in 2009?
2009, that's a very controversial thing because this is one of my court cases which I have, which is the electronic voting machine has been manipulated.
I'm not convinced. You haven't won me over, and I'm not sure.
I'll do it by osmosis, don't worry.